Okay, so here we've got two terms to integrate. Okay, now we're probably better off rewriting this so that we've got, well, let's keep the first fraction as it is, because there's a linear term on the bottom, so we're going to have to use ln. Let's rewrite the second term. We'll take that power up, so it becomes -3. Okay, so when we integrate, we're just going to have to integrate them separately. Okay, so this one here, because there's linear on the bottom, it's just going to become ln. So remember, with ln, you see what's on top, which is 4, and then what's on bottom next to the x, which is 7. So 4/7 ln then of 7x plus 2. This then we'll integrate. Remember the first method we saw, so we add 1 to that power, so -3 add 1 is -2. Divide them by this new power, which is -2, times by the derivative in here, which is 3, plus then a constant. Okay, so a little bit of tidying up, then we get 4/7 ln 7x plus 2. And there's a minus there, so we can put the minus in front. 5 on top. 6, that becomes then on bottom, and we could even take that bracket down, couldn't we? Because it's a -2, take it down to +2. So we have a fraction of 5 on top, 6 on bottom, and that bracket to +2, plus then my constant. Okay, so part 2 then, we're going to integrate cos 2x dx. So remember, cos, when you integrate, it just becomes sine. So this is going to be sine 2x. But then you've got to divide by the derivative in there, which is just 2, plus then your c. Okay, and then to finish off with b, we've got to integrate between the limits of 0 and 4 of e to the power x over 2. Okay, so we've got limits, we're not going to write plus c. And you just need to appreciate that when you integrate e, it stays the same. So in this case, it's going to be e to the power x over 2. But because it's like a function of a function, remember then you've got to divide by the derivative of this sort of inner function. So if we differentiate x over 2, I think x over 2 is just like half x. So half x, when you differentiate it, just becomes a half. So that's what you're dividing by. Okay, now I'm not going to write plus c because we've got limits. So the limits are 4 and 0. Okay, so let's just rewrite this a little bit better then, because you've got a half on the bottom. So with a fraction on the bottom, you can flip the bottom number up to the top. So we get 2e to the x over 2. Okay, and the limits then are 4 and 0. Now in the question, it doesn't say, it just says evaluate. So you don't have to actually work out to a certain number of decimal places. You could probably leave this one in terms of e. Okay, so we'll have, we put the upper limit in, 2e to the power 4 over 2, for the upper limit there of 4. So x over 2 becomes 4 over 2. Take away then the lower limit, 2e to 0 over 2. Okay, well, e to the 0 is just 1, isn't it? Okay, and 4 over 2 here is 2, so this becomes, well, 4 over 2 is 2, so e to the power 2 there, and e to the 0 over 2, which is e to the 0, is just 1, so you've got 2 times 1, which is 2, so there's your answer. Okay, you could even factorize the 2 here, okay, to leave it like that. That will be acceptable. Okay, you don't have to work it out exactly because it doesn't say, it just says evaluate it. If it said to 2 or 3 decimal places, then you need to type it into your calculator. Otherwise, you can leave it like that.